No, but I like the pizza.
No, I like the pizza.
No, but the pizza's good.
Pizza sucks.
Why are we even talking about this?
I'm just trying to start a conversation and waste precious time on this Rttta.
Oh, it's time for another one of those, huh?
Yeah, well, you missed last week thanks to your clones pulling you out of it.
Awesome.
Well, in relation to last week's cancellation, I've decided this week you're going to talk about this.
We just love to talk about the same things over and over again, don't
We
we?
sure do, and we'll never get any subscribers because variation is totally not important in Rttta whatever the crap this is a.
Yep, so today we're going to talk about the mystery of the game Sonic X-Treme. Sonic X-Treme was supposed to be Sonic's first 3D adventure releasing holiday 1996, but was finally cancelled and Sonic 3D Blast basically replaced it. Which, oh, by the way, sucked! Sonic X-Treme was a game originally developed for the Genesis, but eventually was moved to the Genesis add-on 32X and finally the Sega Saturn. Unfortunately, the project went downhill and was finally cancelled in 1997. Some argue it cost Sega Saturn success. Sonic X-Treme would have been Sega's competition against games like Super Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot. Eventually, in a couple of years, Sonic's first fully 3D game would release, Sonic Adventure. But what happened to Sonic X-Treme? Why did the game suddenly just vanish? They all died. The end. By 1995, Sega had released a string of hits since the beginning of the decade, from the first Sonic game to Sonic & Knuckles. Sega wanted their fairly successful division in the US, Sega Technical Institute, to develop the true successor to Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic X-Treme. Many concepts were pitched before the final decision, including Sonic 16 on Genesis, an untitled isometric game, and finally Sonic Mars on the 32X, which was the accepted pitch. However, Sonic co-creator Yuji Naka saw the demo, shook his head, and said, "Good luck." The game was eventually moved to the Saturn, where a dude by the name Chris Sen took over as the leader due to the loss of the original leader of the project. Sen had never been lead on a project like this before. The new plan to develop the game was to split into two separate groups. The first group led by Chris Sen and Ofer Alon. That's not how you say his name. How do you say his name? I'm just gonna call him Gopher. Which were assigned to create the worlds that Sonic would explore. The second group was led by programmer Chris Coffin, assigned with creating boss encounters on a completely different engine. Could somebody explain to me why developing a game with two completely different game engines is an advantage? While this was supposed to supposedly make things faster, it obviously just caused destruction and disaster. Later on, Gopher attempted to transfer his code from the PC to the Saturn and it was a failure. So then the executives of the company pulled in some other company called POV and they were hired to do this programming thing. But they sucked at it, according to Sen, and the whole thing just started going even more downhill. Then POV tried to port an older game engine to the Saturn and that was also a failure. While Chris and Gopher were polishing up a presentation to show to the Japanese executives of Sega, another group of idiots decided to show them the wrong, stupid, horrible POV presentation, and they all, of course, freaking hated it. And then once Gopher finally got there with the real deal, they were all so fed up, they were like, no. And so the executive said to redo the whole entire daggum video game around the boss encounter of the stupid POV presentation, which they thought was, yeah, that's good, you can do that. Fantastic. So then from there, they decided to rework the whole entire thing inside of the Nights into Dreams game engine, which they took without Yuji Naka, creator of Nights into Dreams, permission. So when he figured out about it, he was pissed and told them, hey, you better cut that out right now or I'm gonna leave this daggum building and I'm not coming back to Sega. And Sega was like, holy crap, man, no. I'm sorry. So they had to stop making the game on the Nights into Dreams game engine, unfortunately, which was a huge blow, which was just another setback, and their deadline was so close. The current lead programmer of the project, Chris Coffin, suddenly came down with pneumonia, and his doctor said if he didn't cut it out right that moment, then he'd only have a few months to live. Chris Coffin? You get it? Because if he doesn't stop coughing, he'll end up in the coffin. So then Coffin backed out, and by that point the whole thing was just going so far downhill, they were so close to the deadline and they had nothing to give that they finally were like, yeah, we can't give the game holiday of 1996. Although it was officially announced as delayed, everyone developing the game knew that the game had been cancelled. All the advertising money for Sonic X-Treme was instead used on Nights into Dreams, and Sonic X-Treme finally vanished. So there you have it, the reason why Sonic X-Treme completely disappeared. Sonic 3D Blast ended up replacing the game, and Sonic Adventure eventually a couple years later became Sonic's first fully 3D adventure. But let's be honest, while the game did look fun and I'd love to play it, you look at Sonic Adventure and you can just see how much better Sonic Adventure was gonna be anyway. I guess you could say Sonic X-Treme was a mistake they learned from, and Sonic Adventure was the result of what they learned from. Garrett, we're ready. So you're all fully equipped?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounded too casual. Well, we only have 2 guns, so the others are using their fists. Well, Garrett's using a kitchen knife.
Who let Gary have a kitchen knife?
Doesn't matter. I mean, it's only for self-defense. We're not planning to kill anyone.
So you gave it to him, but I never said that.
Just because you're a clone in a separate body doesn't mean that you didn't get my bad pretending skills. And speaking of clones, that's the other reason we're leaving. First and foremost, Josiah. If we can capture him, then maybe we can figure out where we came from and what he's up to.
There's one catch.
Oh boy. We have no clue how to get to his house. Due to the lack of GPSs and maps, thanks to whoever wrote the stupid storyline for this dumb show, we have no clue how to get to him.
Wow, okay. See you in 5 years.
Oh, if that's how it works, then forget it.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
Wait! I know how to get to Josiah's residence.
You do?
Yes!
Well, that was easy.
Hang on, how on earth do you know how to get to Josiah's place?
I was written with a bad backstory.
Alright, that's enough information. Get them out of here. So you're finding them on foot. We don't have a car.
Yes, we do.
Garrett blew it up. You blew up my car?
Alright, time to go.
Why the heck would you blow up my car?
Okay, bye.